Hello chess friends, welcome back to the chess move of the day. Like always, we look at some really spectacular moves in this section of the game. This game was played between Nils Elisons versus Aron Nimzowitsch in 1915. And Aron Nimzowitsch, if any of you by chance do not know him, he was among the most influential chess masters of all times, and he was among the greatest chess authors of all times. And one of his most famous chess book is My System, which has been actually the favorite of many top grandmasters over the years. So that's something you must check out. Of course, there are some downside to that book as well, but in general, it's really a great book. So he was a great chess author, and he was really a specialist in many openings. He was an expert, and his contribution in specifically the chess opening theory is huge. In fact, there are many openings that are named after Nimzowitsch. For example, the Nimzo-Indian defense or the Nimzowitsch defense that starts with e4 knight c6. Also, there is a Nimzowitsch-Larsen attack, and he has also played the French and many other openings. And basically, this guy has contributed in the overall development of chess and is among one of the most influential chess masters of all time. In fact, many of the terms like prophylaxis are actually given by him and termed by him. So he was a great scholar. He obviously has some of his interesting views on different topics, but that is a different subjective matter. Today we're going to have a look at his beautiful game. So it's black to play. In this position, as you can see, black has a really good position. His rook has been opened up. His bishop is really about to give a surprise attack on the white king. So it was in this position that black decided, okay, I'm going to throw in a check. I'm going to displace the king, the white king. Obviously, there is no point in blocking either with the rook or the knight, and that's the reason the white king just tucked himself on the h2 square. What should we do now? It's time to open up our monster bishop and play f3 check. Basically, it's a double attack. Not only do you attack the king, which has nowhere to go, of course, but you also attack the knight. So if you play pawn to g3, I'm simply going to capture your knight with the absolutely winning position. And that's the reason in this position, white had to play knight to g3. This was forced. But because of this pin is really annoying. The king is kind of stuck because of our great rook who controls a lot of squares. And now black comes up with a very interesting idea. He decided, well, I have the pin over here. And what do we do with pin? We don't capture it, but we put more and more pressure on the pin. That's exactly what Nimzowitsch did here. He played h5. The threat is obviously h4. That will win the knight. That's a huge threat. What should be done about it? In fact, it turns out that white doesn't have a lot of option. He has to play h4. And in this case, the medicine is worse than the disease itself because it's really a bad move. In fact, it creates a lot of weaknesses around the king. And this is how Nimzowitsch exploited it in a perfect manner. Here he went on to play g5, crashing through. The idea is obviously to capture here, removing the threat of capturing the pinned knight on g3. So he has to do something. Obviously, white cannot take this. If that's captured, then the h pawn steps forward, h4, knight on the knight on g3 is a goner. Basically, Nimzowitsch will win here, black will win here. So going back, after the move g5, white doesn't have too many choices. In fact, here he played king to h3. Now, this is the moment. This is the chess move of the day. So like always, go ahead, pause the video, try to put yourself in the shoes of the great Nimzowitsch and try to find the move that black played here. Alright, so let's go for it. By the way, if you play something like pawn to g4, this is not going to work because the king will simply step back. And although there is a pin on the knight over here, this is less fatal or hardly fatal at all. In fact, white is totally fine over here. So going back, this is not the move that you're supposed to play. The move of the day is rook to h1, check, sacrificing the rook. In fact, this is a great deflection. It's a decoy. Knight has to capture it. There is no other way. The king can't really step out because of this deadly pawns. This has to be taken. Knight takes. What has happened because of this? Why did we sacrifice the rook? The point is, this has opened up the bishop's diagonal, which is going to be crucial now. Now we can simply play pawn to g4, and that is a checkmate. The king cannot step onto the g3 and the h2 square because of the bishop over here controlling all those squares. So this is a beautiful checkmate. that Nimzowitsch found here. In fact, it's a very simple yet pretty checkmate. So, in the future, we might have a look at more games and more contribution of Aron Nimzowitsch. He has a lot of contribution towards chess and specifically towards chess openings. So when we'll be covering chess openings, this will definitely be something to look forward for. So, hope you enjoyed this chess video or move of the day for today. Thank you for watching and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. More videos shall be on the way.